Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tight Stitch podcast. I am your host, Gianna Tanalia. I am the owner of GT Extension Bar, and I am the creator of GT University and Hand Tied 101. And I help hairstylists create work-life balance by learning luxury services. And I do that through mindfulness and social media. So I help you figure out what your niche is, who your dream clientele is, how to speak to them, how to attract them, and how to bring sales in and consultations and potential clients in on autopilot. So today, let's chat about commission versus booth rent versus being a salon owner, or a suite owner, okay, suite renter. Now, I have done all of the above except for owning an entire salon. I have looked into it many times over the past 10 years. I have looked and searched for the perfect space, building, area to open a salon, and I just haven't found it yet. And what I've come to find is that at this point in my life, opening a salon just isn't in the cards right this minute, okay? And if you're wondering am I going to make more money? If you're currently at a commission-based salon and you're wondering if you're going to make more money by going out and opening your own salon or renting a chair or owning a suite, it all depends. It all depends on how much time and money you want to spend to start your own business. Hi, Vixen. So my dog, she's so funny. She just jumped on my lap. Okay. So being a commission stylist, I was a commission stylist for, I think, 8 years. And I was in my 20s. All I did was work and I made great money. I didn't have to worry about paying taxes. I didn't have to worry about, cleaning really. There's a certain amount of cleaning that you do, but most salons have a cleaning company that come in and clean. I didn't have to worry about taxes. I didn't have to worry about product cost. I didn't have to worry about marketing or client communications. I didn't have to worry about the hiring process. When you're a commission stylist, there's a lot of things that you don't realize that you don't have to do. But, in your mind, you might think, well, where's all that money that they're making going? Right. And to be honest, owning a salon costs a lot of money. They're not taking everything that whatever they are making off of you is really going to paying rent, paying taxes, your taxes. And I know some salons offer, insurance and 401ks and stuff like that. That costs money. It costs money just to be an employer. Insurance, all other bills, heat, electric, and water, and all of that. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're taking half of your paycheck and putting it in their pocket. They are paying for all of these amenities that you have. So when I was a commission stylist, I was blind to that. I had no idea. I had no idea. I basically thought that they were just, taking my money. Not really. I don't know. I had like this weird, like, oh, I think I could probably make more money, if I opened my own place or whatever, and that could be true. That could be true. So, say you are um going out to open your own suite. Okay. So you've left your commission salon job. You did so. Okay. Pros and cons of being a commission stylist. Okay. Let me backpedal for a minute. Pros and cons of being a commission stylist. So, one of the cons of being a commission stylist, in my opinion, is that sometimes you're not able to make your own schedule. Sometimes there are rules that your boss wants you to abide by, like posting a certain amount of times a week, working, like even if you don't have clients, you might still have to come in and work your certain hours. They might require you to work certain hours. Um, so there might be certain requirements that your boss that you need to abide by, right? So there's usually a handbook, sometimes there's a dress code, there's certain expectations that need to be met when working for somebody, usually. Hopefully, if you can find a commission salon that allows you to be very flexible, then that's amazing. Okay. So pros and cons of commission is pros, all your taxes are paid. You can come and go. You don't have to worry about anything really besides doing your clients. Cons, and you probably have like a receptionist or something there that takes care of all your clients, does all the marketing, answers the phone, okay? Cons, you might not be able to make your own schedule. You might not be able to choose your own pricing. There's certain rules that you have to abide by. They might not carry the certain product or certain color line that you like or whatever. But I feel like most salons these days are pretty accommodating when it comes to if a stylist wants to try something, but that could be a con. Okay, moving on to suite rental, okay? Which is similar, I would say, to booth renting, but your suite is your own. Your suite is your own space. You can make it however you want. There's multiple different suite venues now. I don't know what you would want to call it. I know there's Salons by JC, there's Sola salons, there's all different salon suites all over the place. Another one just opened up. So they're all over the place. There's pros and cons. One of the pros is that the sink's there, the chairs are there. I mean, yes, you can go and buy your own furniture if you want, but most of these suites are turnkey, they call it, where you can just go in and start working on your clients. The Wi-Fi is included, the water bill's included, the electricity is included. All of these things are included in your one rent, okay? And normally it's a weekly rent. It can be pricey, but it's because all of these things are included, okay? You make your own schedule, you use your own color line, your own product line. You are able to contact your clients. You sometimes the suites will do some sort of advertising for you. And a lot of times these suite areas are in like a plaza or something like that where there's a lot of traffic and you can typically get walk-ins if if that's something that you need. But I don't necessarily suggest that you open a suite straight out of school. I think that could be like a recipe for disaster. I mean, if you already have a bunch of family and friends that come to you in school already and you think that you would be able to make your rent off of these friends and family and that these friends and family are going to refer more people to you, then by all means, give it a go. But a lot of times you're signing leases at these places and just make sure that always you're signing leases at these places, but just make sure that it is going to be profitable for you. Do your budget, do your numbers, and make sure that you're going to be able to make rent. So pros, okay? Those are the pros. You get to have your own color, your own everything. You get to make the suite the way that you want it. You have your own schedule, all that, okay? Cons might be you have to pay rent, you have to pay insurance. You have to do your own marketing, your own scheduling. You have product costs, and you have to, do all your own ordering, all your own cleaning, everything. Taxes, you have to do your own taxes. So this is another big one. When people go out onto their own, and I know this happened to me, I had no idea about taxes. Like I had always just been paid and taxes came out of my paycheck and no clue. I just jumped in, didn't pay my quarterlies, didn't put money aside, and I got fucked at the first year that I opened a suite. I was like, look at all this money. I'm doing so great. So if you open a suite, and I was doing good, I just didn't have like a mentor to help me with any of that. And I didn't look into it at all. I just was like, oh, I'm starting my own business. This is sick, right? So if you're going to open your own suite, make sure to take at least 30% off the top for taxes and put it in a separate account. Okay. First of all, you should have a business account and a personal account. Do not live out of your business account because it can this is what I do. It can get messy. Okay. If you start putting personal expenses on your business account, it's hard to keep track of the money coming in and going out and what you're actually spending on your business unless you have somebody that's taking care of all of that for you. So have separate accounts and have a separate tax account. Okay. You're going to take the 30% and you're going to just put it in there every week. 30% of whatever you made goes in there every week. And then you can pay your quarterlies every quarter and you'll be fine. Okay. Then you want to make sure that you're saving money. You don't want to spend all the money that you're making. So I highly suggest that 1, you pay yourself, and 2, maybe you have a savings account for your business. Okay. I did not do this either. I wish I did. I just started doing this within the past 5 years. And I take, so I'll pay myself a certain amount of money a week, like nothing crazy. I was going giving myself like more than $1,000 a week. But some of that money should have gone back into the business. Okay. So you can do a few different things. You can put some money into your savings. You can have an account for color and product. Some people will use a credit card for color and product and then and then pay that way. I'm not a credit card girly. I made a mess and finally I'm out of debt and I do not ever want to be in debt again. But so that was a big one for me, was setting aside tax money and saving and knowing how much your services cost you and taking whatever you spent, like whatever your product for that week costs, put that either in your savings or put it back into another account to then go and re-up on your color and your product. Okay. So pros and cons of suite. Booth rent is real similar, except that booth rent, you are in someone else's space. I'm currently a booth renter right now. I came from the suite life, I call it. The biggest difference for me with going from a suite to an actual salon, like renting a chair in a salon, is windows, to be honest. If I had windows in my suite, I probably would have stayed there longer. I am a huge outside person. I love to be able to see the sun, the snow, the rain, whatever's happening outside. I love to see cars driving by, people driving by, natural light, and taking photos in natural light as a hairstylist too is extremely important to me, and just being able to see the color and what things look like. So that was one of the biggest advantages for me. moving from a suite to like a booth rent salon was natural light. I mean, the first salon that I ever worked in didn't have a ton of natural light. It was in a basement. There were windows, but it was in a basement. So, but again, there was windows. There might be salons that don't have any windows. I can't vibe with it. I need a window. I need to be able to crack open a window to the outside air. So that was one of the biggest changes for me. So another thing is that you can have your own product, you have your own retail usually, and there's different perks within your rent that the salon owner may give you. You know what I mean? So I know Ashley, she's amazing. The woman that owns my salon, she gives me, a week off for Christmas, and she's great. She's very, very accommodating, and she is very open to anything that there's anything that I need, whatever. The towels are included in my rent. And everything else is included in my rent. The Wi-Fi, all that shit. That is included in rent. Okay. And I rent my chair. Okay. So I'm able to use the entire space and the chair and the station. That is all mine for the however long. Okay. And typically at booth rent salons, there are either some booth rent salons will have like you can rent per day, which I feel like isn't super popular anymore. So that specific stylist will either bring their suitcase bag of hair shit to the salon back and forth each day if they're only if they're only renting per day. Or a lot of times salons will have like hair lockers or cabinets where each stylist is able to put all of their belongings and keep all their belongings in a certain, area. And you're able to utilize the coffee bar, the water. There goes my dogs. FedEx drives by and my dog freaks out. And sit, fix and sit. Okay. Okay, so that's booth rent. This has been great for me because I get the feel of a team. Okay, so that's another pro about being in a salon, right? You have that team-like feel. Whereas a suite, you can be a team with the other suite, the other people that own suites, but a lot of the time you don't see them because you're in your suite, but there were definitely times where, we would go out for dinner and whatever from the suites a lot with, in a salon. And sometimes as a booth rent too, it depends on your schedules and all that, but you get more of that team-like feeling when you go back into a salon, obviously, because there's more people around. There's you have there's more people, and that was an adjustment for me. I would say going from a suite then back to a salon was conversations. I didn't realize how I did value that like one-on-one time that I had with my client in a suite where this is like uninterrupted. You're not listening to any other conversations type of a thing. Where in a salon, there's other stylists, there's other clients. Sometimes stylists are double booked, triple booked, people coming in, out, there can be distractions. There can be, we're having conversations, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a difference. Okay. So booth rent, you're paying your own, cons, whatever you want to say. You're paying your own rent, insurance, taxes. You're doing your own marketing, your own scheduling, and you're worried about product costs and all that. Okay. So very similar to owning a suite. You get pros, you get to make your own schedule. Team, you get to pick your own product, your own color lines. Okay. So moving to salon owner. So now I have never been a full-blown salon owner. Okay. I have done a lot of research. I have priced things out. Um, you can make a lot of money owning a salon. Just know that it is going to take a lot of your time. Okay. So if you are thinking that renting a chair is a lot for you right now, owning a salon is like renting 8 chairs, okay? And it's a lot of work. And it's not for the faint of heart. Like there's going to be a lot of turnover. Hopefully not. Hopefully you find stylists that want to stay with you forever. It's wild. It's wild. Yes, Ashley, you know. Um it it can be so magical for sure. But it costs a lot of money to start up a salon. So if you can if you are looking to um open your own salon, I highly suggest to really search for a place that is already was a salon. That already was a salon. It doesn't necessarily have to be an open business, but somewhere that already has the plumbing, already has all the things that a salon needs, because you're talking 100 grand to open a salon from the ground up. I mean, all said and done, I would say, at least, you know. No, go sit down. Go sit down. My dog, she's so funny. She wants to play right now. Okay. So save, start to save. Obviously you could take out a small business loan, but the least amount of money that you can borrow, the better. And do your math. Figure out how many days, how many hours, how many clients you alone will need to work in order to keep the doors open. Okay. Obviously, that's not ideal. You don't want to have to work to keep the doors open. You want to have a team of stylists that can help run the business. But people leave, people move on, and if they're not motivated to advertise for themselves, then that makes things really difficult too. Like if you have a chair that someone is working at and they're not producing any income and they don't want to post or they don't want to advertise, that's really difficult because you want all of those chairs to be making as much money as possible. You want production. And that's really what it comes down to. Because if those chairs are not generating income, then you're spending money. Is really, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But it can be such a beautiful thing. You can make an amazing team. People are known to be more motivated when working with next to somebody. It's great to bounce ideas off of somebody. There's the whole mentorship thing where you as a salon owner, I mean, 90% of the time you're training an assistant, and then that assistant eventually becomes so good that they go out on the floor for their own, and then they become a commissioned stylist, and then you train another person and another person and another person. And now you have all of these people under you that have worked with you, for you, and know how you work and do things. And your clients will now feel more comfortable hopefully going to these people that you've trained, and then that allows you to kind of take a step back as long as your clients are comfortable, and you can make massive profit. You do need a team. You're going to need a team. You're going to need a front desk girly. You're going to need a bookkeeper, a tax guy. Like, you can't be afraid to ask for help, I feel, when you're a salon owner, because if you're trying to juggle all of these things and work behind the chair, you're going to lose your shit. Okay. So pros, lots of pros. And cons would just be like your build out cost, keeping up with product. It's going to take a lot of time for you, unless you can find a really great manager that can really take care of things while you're not around. You have to be really good at managing people. And then just the whole hiring process thing, which can be fun, but also can be kind of exhausting. So that's just something that you would need to figure out yourself is hiring, because that's just going to be something that's like an ongoing thing. You onboard people constantly. You're not constantly, but as soon as you train somebody and they're ready to go on the floor, it takes about a year or so. You train somebody, they're ready to go on the floor, you're ready to hire somebody else. So end up coming up with a system for that. So that's pretty much all I have for today. And I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like there are some stylists that like are at commission salons where they have it pretty good and they're thinking like, I want to make more money. I'm just going to go out on my own. And like, just wait a second and make sure that you're right. If you are going to make more money going out on your own and you want to take on all of those responsibilities that your salon owner is doing for you, and that's going to be worth it, right? So it's like, how much is your time worth? If you have a family and you want to just like come in and go, then commission is probably going to be great for you as long as it's an environment that you want to be in. If you're in a commission based salon and you're not happy there, then get the fuck out, you know? And try it. Try it. If it doesn't work, oh well, fucking try something else. If you even have the slightest question, if you want to do something, look into it, see if it vibes with you, and if it does, fucking try it. What's the worst that could happen? You spent all your money, well, you can make your money back. All right. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped somebody. And I know that I wish I had somebody that talked about this before I did all my crazy shit. But you know what? I wouldn't be here helping you and talking you through this if I didn't go through all this crazy shit. So love you all and have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will leave